Good morning. How are you? I'm late again. I apologize. My computer. Hmm. She's a special girl. She's a special girl who might have to get a new friend with Black Friday sales. Anyway, I'm going to give you a moment to get yourself situated. We will have coffee together. I've got my favorite llama cup, and we get to rock and roll. It's Wednesday, right? For some reason this week, I keep completely losing track of what day it is. I don't know why. I have no reason or explanation to it other than maybe my hair is getting in the way. I have no idea. Just one of those weeks. How's your week going? We're just going to give people another minute to join us. And yeah, we'll go from there. We'll go from there. It feels We got snow last night. I don't know about where you are or what things are looking like for your weather, but in southern Alberta, we got a bit of frosting. It's not so bad. I mean, there's definitely some winter driving conditions. It sounds like on the radio, the driving in the city wasn't super awesome, but it was like, as always, different quadrants of the city get different amounts of snow. It's always fascinating to me how that even can occur. Like, magic science of weather, I guess. But yeah, I mean, what's nice is we're used to snow this time of year. So the fact that it's the end of November and we've got a bit of frosting, it feels very festive. However, if it didn't snow, I would probably be okay with that. Morning, Helen. How are you? Yeah, that's what I know on this Wednesday. Like, if you're just tuning in, that's it. No, I'm just kidding. I thought we could just do a check-in. I had a guest scheduled for today, but they had to reschedule. So you're just hanging out with me today. Friday morning, we have a guest scheduled. So hopefully you'll get to meet another really cool friend who um, yeah, is a very, very unique and interesting person. And then we're going to talk some Christmas markets this weekend. Who that's hanging out with us has had an opportunity to catch a Christmas market yet? Anybody? I have not. I will admit, I have not made it to one yet. I have not made it to one yet, but I'm hoping. I'm hoping maybe this weekend we'll make it to a Christmas market. That's on the list. We'll see how it goes. Good morning, Kelly. Helen says, I could go without it until Christmas Eve, then soft snow. You know what? I kind of like you with that plan. Just sprinkle it over Christmas and then that'll do. I don't know. What do you feel about the snow? Uh, if you've made it to a Christmas market, some of them repeat weekends, some of them don't. But let me know the cool Christmas markets that you know coming up. If you know of others, because I know it is the season for them and there's going to be tons. So if you know of a cool one, throw it in the comments. People might want to check some of those out and see what's going on. So Kelly says, went to Pincher Creek last weekend. It was wonderful. Oh, and it was such a gorgeous weekend to travel. I bet that one was really good. Good morning, Mary. Nanton is having their Christmas market this weekend. So be sure to check that out. What else? What else you got? How you feeling on this Wednesday morning? We are I won. I still like guys, it's the 24th of November. We are 1 month away. 30 days to Christmas Eve. Does that blow your mind in any way, shape, or form? Or is it just me? 30 days to Christmas Eve. I'm going to put the tree up this weekend, I think. the plan. We'll see how it goes. We weren't really into putting up our big tree last year. We just ended up putting up a little one, but I think it's the year. It's time for a shift. Kelly recommends the Nanton Market. She says it's awesome. Spruce Meadows is this weekend. That's always a cool one. And what's neat about that one, Mary, too, I don't know if you is that it's they call it the International Christmas Market. So they get really cool items from vendors from all over the world and products. I guess the vendors are probably from here, but the products are from all over the world. So makes for a cool experience. The ambiance out there is amazing. Um, and then if you go later in the day, you could probably catch those Christmas lights at the end, which is also so fun. Pam's with us this morning. Good morning, girl. Says, I love Christmas. Yeah, it's an interesting time of year because I've got friends who love, like, I mean, crazy elf level love Christmas. And I've got friends who like are the exact opposite of that. So it's always interesting to manage people's different feelings about this time of year. And so just recognizing that for a moment that not everybody loves this time of year. Sometimes this time of year can be really lonely. It can feel really painful. It can be really overwhelming. Not all families get along. I think that we've had a really trying couple of years leading into this Christmas. So it makes for an interesting mixed bag. I think people are still feeling really dysregulated about the state of our world. So it makes for some really mixed emotions going into what can be really kind of a highly emotional season and a highly emotional time of year. So I think just recognizing that for a moment and us just even having that conversation for 2 minutes about that allows us to be more open and receptive to the fact that people may not be on the same page as us when it comes to puking out Christmas all over the place. We can get really excited and get really wild about it, and other people just don't. So I think, yeah, when somebody seems grumpy or somebody seems like they're not into it, and you're like, man, what's with the Grinchy Grinch, the bah humbugger? Instead of that thought, it's just, let's just send them some love. Just send them a loving thought, a beautiful thing, a piece of positive energy, because who knows what's going on in their world. There's a lot of moving parts right now with people. There's a lot of moving parts in relationships for people, and it can feel really overwhelming. And there's a lot of pressure. Do you find that? I don't know. I didn't realize this is where we would go in topic today, but you know me, I just get babbling. But there's a lot of pressure, I think, for people to be joyful, to just like, hey, it's Christmas, be happy. And there's so much pressure in being that positive, joyful, rainbow riding unicorn elf. And this time of year can feel so many different things. So release the pressure on that. If you don't feel joy today, that's okay. Maybe you'll feel it tomorrow or the next day or whatever that looks like. But keeping in mind, as I love to quote Dr. Jody Carrington, and because it's Wednesday, I'm going to throw this in there. Plug your ears, mom. Joy is a fucking choice. That is Dr. Jody Carrington's one of her catchphrases. She puts it on her merchandise. She's an exceptional lady. And it truly is. Joy is a fucking choice. So if you don't want to choose the joy today, you don't have to. But just know that it doesn't always automatically fill your body and take over for you. And you just are joy all the time. That's not the way it works. That is a BS line that we've been fed from, I don't know, self help books, which I also love. But I'm just saying, it's a choice. It's a choice you have to make. When you get up in the morning, you get to choose what that looks like for you. Now, yes, there are sometimes external circumstances that can make that way more challenging. However, I have been to third world countries where I have sat with families and held hands with people who have absolutely nothing. And their challenges are what I would feel to be an insurmountable way of life compared to what I was raised in. And they are the most joyful people I have ever had the complete blessing of being in the presence of. So, you know what? You do get to choose every day whether you're going to live in joy moments or not. Now, if you're in a place where that's feeling really difficult, gratitude is an extremely cool way to get to a feeling of joy when you're not really feeling it. And also give yourself some grace. If you want to have a day where it is not joy day, then have that day. Just don't stay there more than the day. You can give yourself a day and then you got to, I don't know, step up and choose the joy and find a way. So gratitude is a great way to do that. And even taking, it doesn't have to be a huge thing. Even if it's a thought process or you want to quickly jot something down, think of 3 things that you are grateful for. And all of a sudden that shift is going to happen in you. It will. But you have to choose it. And there's a lot of people in this world. They're there. You know them. You know them. I know them. We've all experienced them who don't want to make that choice. That is them. We send them love. Kelly says, call me crazy. Okay, crazy. But I love Black Friday shopping and planning out my Friday shopping in the city, and it gets me in the mood for Christmas. Yeah. I've not been a real Black Friday shopper before. I will admit, I have never went early in the morning and stood in line and got a deal. I've never done it for what's the other one? Boxing Day. I just never ever have. Would I love those amazing deals? Sure. But I find nowadays, Kelly, and maybe you can speak to this, has that really shifted and changed what it looks like? Despite even COVID, I think there was this shift before where it's like the Black Friday deals, most of them are being released before Black Friday. There's hardly a company that waits until Friday. The ones that do, I kind of am excited about because that anticipation of what the cool thing is that's going to be on sale on Friday is kind of neat. Um, but now there's Cyber Monday. So that's the opportunity, like whatever I guess you didn't buy on Friday, you buy online on Monday. I don't know. But there's those pieces. So maybe that's really shift and changed. I'm curious. Sue says, I choose happy, and there are things that try to mess up the day that I could fall into, but I choose not to. And yeah, it's a continual choice. I appreciate that you share that, Sue, because maybe we make the choice in the morning and then something happens in the afternoon. It's possible, right? And so it's that continued option to choose the joy. How do you do that? Anybody want to share an example of, okay, you're having a moment, you're having a minute. How do you stop the train and get on the joy bus? How do you do that? Sandy says, I used to love Boxing Day shopping, and it is different from what it was like 10 years ago. I've seen that shift. And I mean, I think that that's a retail shopping shift in general because we've become such an online world. We've become online shoppers and a lot of ordering online and what that looks like. I'm also a big fan of shopping. I try to buy as many of the gifts that I can. Sometimes it's hard because sometimes there's wants or needs on a Christmas list that don't fall into a local shopping experience. But I try really hard to buy the majority of my gifts within my community or in one of the communities around me. I've made that very conscious effort for the last few years, and that feels pretty darn awesome too. I know that there's so many local businesses that do such great giving back to the community and to our charities at this time of year that spending a portion or all of your shopping dollars in a local market can be really life changing for those businesses. So keep that in mind also, because it's easy. It's easy to go online. It's easy to go and click and order something, especially if you're not feeling like heading out into a crowd situation, because some people are really just still not comfortable with that. Yeah. So Kelly says, yes, it has changed, but there's still some stuff that I know they will only have on sale that day. But I'm not breaking down doors, but I still love it. I don't know if those you'd have to have a smoking deal for people to line up for, don't you think? anymore. Maybe I'm just a lazy shopper, honestly. I don't know. What else is on your mind today? One of my favorite things that comes up. Okay, so it becomes a real retail focused weekend, right? Because our American friends have Thanksgiving tomorrow. So we wish you early a very happy Thanksgiving to those who tune in from the United States. We appreciate you and wish you happy Thanksgiving. So Black Friday goes on, right? I'm sure it happens all weekend long. Cyber Monday happens on Monday. But what I think is cool is the trend that happens on Tuesday, is it's now called Giving Tuesday. So the whole premise behind that was, as you've done your shopping, remembering to do that give back portion. So on Tuesdays, you will see a flood of social media posting from every single charitable outlet imaginable and talking about Giving Tuesday and your opportunity to give. I think it's great. I think what's also really cool about Giving Tuesday is that you have the opportunity to share some of those social posts from some of your favorite charities or organizations that you work with in helping them share that Giving Tuesday message. That costs you nothing but like 2 seconds of your time to forward that on to someone else. Tag a friend in the bottom of something, whatever that might look like. Keep Giving Tuesday in mind. I've always thought that was very cool. Sue shares with us breath. Yes, breath work can be so important. If you can change the issue, do. If you can't, is it worth it to cause stress? If not, let go. Thank you. Yeah, taking a breath. Big one. Morning, Cheryl. And I think that it's important. Like that might seem like stopping and breathing. Okay. When you say that, when you hear that, you're like, well, that's obvious, of course. But in the moment, don't you find, and it depends if you spiral as beautifully as I can, but sometimes in those moments, stopping to do that seems like the hardest, the least possible thing to do. So just reminding yourself that that can do that. And maybe that's a Post-it note you have somewhere in the house where it's like, have you taken a moment to stop and breathe today? Just a reminder, a little visual. Yeah. So there you go. That's your Wednesday morning. Anybody else have anything they want to share? Do you know of any cool Christmas markets that are happening this weekend? Do you know of something else cool people should do for the holiday season? Throw that into the comments. If you want to share today ways that you choose your joy, the ways you take a stop breath, the ways you unspiral, the way you remind yourself to make a positive decision for the day, throw that into the comments and let's help each other out. That's what we're here for. We will be back Friday morning, hopefully with guests. Really looking forward to introducing you to a very cool woman that I've met over this past year through online, through supporting a mompreneur. And she's got not only some really cool products that I think you would love, besides that, she's just got a really amazing outlook on life. And she's going to tell us about a Christmas market that is coming up in the Okotoks area, I believe, for the weekend. So that's coming up Friday morning. We will see you back here at 9 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. Have an amazing day, everybody.